Hello, everyone. Welcome to Financeology 101. Class is now in session. The information provided during this podcast is just that information. You will need to do further research to address your specific situation. Enjoy the session. Welcome, everyone, to another session of Gifted Generations Presents Financeology 101. I'm one of your hosts, Robin Seegers, and the other host is.
Elroy Seegers.
And this is part two of our mid-year review. We're going to do a part two of the recap of where you are financially because we're almost the middle of the year. Can you believe it? It's almost June.
Mm.
And at this point, you should be making some steps in your financial journey. So the first three steps we talked about the last session was step one, financial assessment. Step two, setting realistic goals. And step three, identifying your income expenses. So go back and listen to that podcast and get more information, and then go back and listen to the original podcast. All this information will be on our Podbean website of when the original podcasts were done for each of those steps. So this session, we're talking about step 4, 5, and 6 on your financial journey. Step 4 is understanding needs and wants. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And the original podcast for this step was April 12th, 2023. And so go listen to that in its entirety. Step 5 was creating your
But
financial.
okay. So the title was the same too, right? Understanding their needs and wants, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
My bad. Go ahead.
Step 5 is creating your financial plan. And the original podcast for that was May 10th, 2023.
Hmm.
And so go back and find that and listen to that in its entirety. And step 6, your plan in action. So you're putting your financial plan into action. And that original podcast was June
Good.
2023.
A lot of good information. A lot of good information.
Yes, so go back and listen to those, and because this session we're just doing a recap just to get you going, make sure you're on the right path and you're doing the things that you need to do to have a positive financial journey. So understanding your needs and wants, that's big. That's big because a lot of us think a lot of things we need and they really wants.
Yeah. And the one thing about some things, what may be a want for you may be a need for another person, vice versa.
Right,
Everybody's wants
right,
and needs are not identical. For
right.
example, I could say a cell phone. I mean, this is big. Do you need a cell phone or do you want a cell phone? You know, if you don't
Right.
have one, if you don't have one in your house, you probably need one. If it's just something like you got 10 cell phones and everybody in the house has a cell phone, is that really something that you need or something that you want? It's a convenience. So it's really about making an assessment. So when you got to make cutbacks, you got to determine whether or not can I live and go on without this here, or is it going to jeopardize something that I'm trying to do? If I don't have a house phone and I'm currently looking for a job, I'm gonna need a cell phone, somebody that where they can call me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that wants and needs, it can be a thin line or it can be a thick line, but it's for you to get a better understanding of where those things are. And sometimes those things may change because as you write those things down, right, some things are gonna have a higher
Mhm.
priority as a want and a need, a necessity,
Mhm.
and then you like saying once you get it all said and done, and you start putting those things into play, you may say 2 months later down, you know what? Why I had it was a want. It's really a need. You know what? This
Mhm.
was a need.
Mhm.
It's really a want. So you may not
Mhm.
always set it right the first time. You may you may make some transitional decision changes based on as you go into life because you're now thinking about those things. When you don't think
Mhm.
about those things, you just go and do. But when you start putting mind to matter and application, you be like saying, okay, now I'm understanding. Now I'm making the decision. So now understanding what those things are and what they look like. So they can change because you have a better understanding what those things look like.
Right. And it's like if you're going out, say you're going to a concert, and you know how we always do, ladies, we want to new this, new that.
Hmm.
But if you know you're financially not able to do that,
Yeah.
then
Go in
you
the
see
closet.
something, some shoes that you want or outfit, is that a need or want? Can you just go back in your closet
Yeah, you got a little
and
cute. You got a little cute, Rob. Come on now.
swallow your pride and
Pride.
wear
Mhm.
something you've already worn before?
Yeah.
I mean, ladies, we can be creative with our outfits, so just be creative.
Yes.
Maybe all
Yes.
you need is a new
Yes.
belt or
Yeah.
maybe just a top,
Yeah.
but not a whole new outfit. So
Yeah. Hmm.
really give thought that are you spending needlessly or you actually
Right.
need it. Now, if
Right.
you need some new shoes for a job, bec- because your job requires certain type of footwear,
Right.
then yes.
Yeah.
But if
Right.
you just getting it just to show
Look
off for
fly.
the girls and look fly and all of that,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's just you got to determine
Yeah.
what's really important.
Yeah.
What's really important.
Yeah. When to draw the line.
So yeah, where to draw the line. And I know we can convince ourselves that we absolutely need this, and we
Yeah.
really don't, but we can convince ourselves, or we can come up with all sorts of stories.
Yeah. I think one of the, I may be wrong, just from my person feeling, one of the things we get the wants and needs mixed up is cars. What I mean, like,
Mm,
I may need a car, but do I need that car?
mm,
You know, do I need to get that Mercedes Benz car? Okay, no, no, I need to get a car that costs more. I shouldn't say, don't say names, that costs more, $35,000 to get back and forth to work, or can I get one that costs $12,000 that can do the job and is just as good and is a high performing car? So it's a need, but do I need to get that higher cost one
mm-hmm,
that's going to blow my
mm-hmm,
budget out of the water? So
mm-hmm,
yes, sometimes needs and wants I mean, the needs and wants are aligned, but then you got to figure out is a pricing point too. Robin just was talking
right.
about shoes. All right. So yeah, I want to look good when I go out. I'm gonna buy Gucci this, Gucci this, high end stuff, right? Could cost you $500. Okay. Well, I have a budget set aside for like clothing, 150. I'm gonna go out and buy new stuff, but it's gonna stay within my budget. So you can do certain things.
Mm-hmm,
It can still be a want, but it's within the confines of what you already constructed. Or you can say you can blow it up. Now it becomes a need because you fell outside the guidelines of what you've already set. So there's so
mm-hmm,
many parameters that you really can look at when it comes to wants and needs, which you already set aside. Are you staying within those guidelines? Are you falling outside those guidelines? Because it can still be a need, but it becomes a want because of pricing point, right? I
right,
need these shoes.
right,
I need these shoes that
right,
cost $80, but I want the ones that cost 120. So now I just went
right.
from a need from a need to a want. I still need the item, but I made it a want because of I went over my pricing point. So it can slide one to another very
Mm-hmm,
easily if you don't have a true uh, concept and a grasp of what you're trying to do, and you can trick yourself
mm-hmm,
into thinking one is another two. You really can.
mm-hmm,
I can
right,
fool myself into thinking, oh, I need this here, or I want that. So you gotta be careful. You gotta really be careful when it comes down to doing those kind of things. So
right.
I know we need to move to the second one, so I wouldn't spend too much time on just the one. So
No, and I just want to throw out there, loud budgeting was
yeah,
the term that was blowing
has
up,
been
went
used. Yep.
viral
Hmm.
for 2024, loud budgeting. And
Yep.
then look that up. And what it is basically is saying no to telling people, no, I can't go here. I'm not doing that because my money is assigned to go here. I'm saving for a house. I'm investing, saving my emergency fund
Right.
and being okay with it, not being ashamed because we make people feel shame if they
Yep.
don't have the money
Yep.
or something because they not doing it the way we're doing it.
They shame
No,
you. Hmm. They
so
shame you.
yeah, so be proud. That's why they call it loud budgeting and
Mm.
being okay with telling people, no, I'm not spending that kind of money because I'm doing my money is assigned to do something else that's going to advance me down the road.
Yeah, I actually have
So,
we actually have our clients, Robin, sometimes to say, I practice. I want you to start saying, no, I cannot do that. I mean, I'm like, what? They're like, what? Like, no, you got to get used to practice saying no to people and be
mhm,
okay with saying no. Because we're
mhm,
not used to saying no because we're just succumb to, let's just go ahead and do it. We're going to just
right,
not tell them we're short on money and then we're going to get home.
right,
We'll figure it out later. No, just tell them
Right,
no and be okay with saying no. So you got to practice
right.
that. You got to practice saying no.
And if they're people that care about you and they're truly your
They're gonna
friends, they'll
understand.
respect that. They'll
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah,
But if they're not your friends and they're gonna make fun of you
yeah,
and talk bad about you for doing it,
yeah,
then they're
yeah.
not your friend,
Right, right,
right?
right, right.
So the next step is creating your financial plan, creating your
Woohoo! Yes, I like that one.
it's creating your budget. And a lot of people want to say budget is a bad word, but it's not. We
You
put that
own it.
negative
Yeah,
connotation on it
yeah.
because we think a budget means I can't do this, I can't do
Mm-hmm.
that. No, your budget is what you make it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
determine the
yeah.
things you want to add in and what things you want to cut back on. If
Yeah.
you like going out to dinner every Friday with your
Mm-hmm.
friends,
Do it.
then just say, I'm
Set
going to put
aside.
that in there, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to go out every Friday. I'm maybe only going to
Amen.
go out 2 Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
but you still can go out.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If you like to go out to the movies, like we like to go to the movies, if you want to go 4 or 5 times a month, put it in there. But you just don't go 4 or 5 times. You maybe go 2 or 3 times. So don't think that the budget is going to stop you from living. No, the
Right.
budget is what you make it, but you make it within reasonable amounts.
Yeah. And something I always try to tell people, remind people of a budget is what you make it. This is what I mean by this right here. You can take a credit card with a $10,000 limit and blow it up. Now your budget is going to be confined around that $10,000 repayment, right? Or you can say,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm gonna make sure that I only spend a little bit at a time, even though I have a $10,000 limit. I'm not gonna spend 10,000. I'm gonna use this card $100 a month and pay it off in the month, or $50 and pay for it in the month. Now you're not paying $700 for a credit card payment that you don't spend $10 because you can blow your budget in one night, but it's gonna take you
Mm-hmm.
years to recover
Mm-hmm.
because now that $10,000 you spent, it felt good. Now you gotta figure out how you're gonna pay it back over the next 20 years because that's you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be making member payments. So now you're gonna need an aggressive plan. Okay, $800 payment is not good. Now I gotta make $1,200 payment. Now you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do all this right here? It all goes back to wants, needs, planning, setting goals, assessment, identifying income and expenses. It all ties in together. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. That budget is the foundation of what you can and cannot do. Because if you mess up and you make some bad decisions, your budget's gonna be like, wow, very limited. It may be restricted because you made it so. So be
Right.
wise.
Right.
Be wise.
Right. Right. So when you hear the word budget, don't just the walls go up and you don't want to
Yeah,
listen anymore
yeah. Don't shut.
because
Yeah, that's it.
right, don't shut down because any financial coach you're working with or any
Mm-hmm.
financial
Mm-hmm. Come
advisor,
on.
they should be telling you,
Right.
okay, let's see the things that absolutely you need and the things that you want, and let's see
Right.
how we can put a lot of the things that you want, because my husband always say we got to live, we got to keep living, we can't
Yeah.
shut everything off
Mm-hmm.
and be restrictive and not live, because then you're going to be unhappy, and
Mm-hmm.
this financial plan is you're not going to be doing it, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and add the things that you want, you just don't
Mm.
do it as much,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you
Oh,
can save more or pay off, take that extra money and pay off some of your debt.
yeah. And me and
So
my
just
wife, we
give
we we
thought.
we bounce things off each other all the time. When we go place, we were like, that bill was how much? It was like prices of stuff has really gone up. So I said, okay. What did you say? What did you say the other day, Robin? You went out to eat because I'm always as a husband, we know I'm gonna pay for the bill. My wife she can cover the bill anytime she wants to. But as a man, I get the receipt, I sign for it and take care of it. My wife probably hadn't seen a receipt in years. So what happened? What happened, Robin? Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened.
I went out with some friends and I had the money, but when I was paying for another friend, it was her birthday and we were celebrating her, so I was paying for her meal. And when I got that bill, I was like, hold up. I was having, no, I didn't say that in front of my friends, y'all. I didn't say that. I got home and told my husband, what in the world did we eat for such and such and such and such? Oh my goodness. And he said, honey, that's how much I pay all the time for the two of us. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Then I'm gonna shut my mouth because it's not something I do a lot. It's you have a couple friends that you do this for, so it's not every week or it's not a lot. It's just whenever their birthday come around. But this time I was paying attention, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I
okay,
was laughing. And now we a lot of money.
okay,
We a lot of money to go out. We a lot, but we stay within our means. We have cash,
right,
or we maybe a card swipe, but it's still within the same bucket, cash on the
right,
low. But we account for it. So we measure what we're spending. To include the tip. So we like to tip nicely, so we're like, based on the service, of course. So we measure how we're doing things. We're not gonna say, well, and we like date nights, we like going out to see the movies on Friday nights. That's We love doing those kind of things. We like driving to the beach and driving back. So all those things are like, okay, yeah, let's go do X, Y, and Z. So you got to consider the things that you like to do and you want to do, and things you're gonna do all the time, and some things you're gonna do sparingly. Like
mhm,
like
mhm,
today we went down and got some nice ice cream. Woo, nice ice
mm,
cream. And that ice cream for two of us was $24, but it was part of our spending plan. I was like,
mhm.
wow. My wife said, that's gonna be it for the year for us, eating that ice cream. And I was shaking my head like, no, it's not. We coming back down here, y'all. But that's the fun. That's the good and the fun thing about it. As you do something that's new that you haven't done before, you're like, okay, that's a pricing point. Now we're at a pricing point. We gotta understand next time it come down, it's gonna cost us this, and that's okay. And sometimes you're gonna go over that budget, but that's how you make adjustments.
Mhm.
You don't say, oh my gosh, what did I do? It's the hell. I'm not gonna survive. No, you make
And
adjustments.
right. And the last step, step six, is putting your plan, your financial plan or your
In, in,
budget into
in action,
action.
right?
And that means, like Roy said, some people do it weekly. They assess how much they spent per week. Some
Mm-hmm.
people do it every other week when they
Mm-hmm.
when they get their pay, their biweekly pay. Some people do it monthly, but you should always sit down and look what you spent for the month.
Mm-hmm.
Always. If you want to do it weekly, do it weekly. But you should never go months and months without checking. I have a story. I was listening to, I'm quite sure a lot of people out there listen to Reddit, and this guy gave his brother his credit card to help him start his business, and he was checking his account. Um, no, it was his debit card. He was checking his account, but he got busy with work, and his brother wiped out all, and I mean, it was a lot of money. He wiped out all his
Mm-hmm.
money because he forgot to go back and check. Uh, um, he
Mm-hmm.
got busy with work. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying this because you need to check regularly where you are financially, because you can get down 6 months and be like, oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
what did I do? Why
Mm-hmm.
didn't I catch that? Why didn't I fix that? What
Mm-hmm.
happened here? But if you
Wow.
do it, if you feel comfortable weekly, sit down every Sunday evening and do it. If you feel like a monthly is good for you, pick out a day. A lot of times Sunday evenings are the quiet. Sit down and figure it out where you spent your money to make sure anything you
Mm-hmm.
need to correct, you
Correct it
making
in.
that adjustment.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if you wait 6 months down the road,
Mm-mm.
it's a major problem now.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Talk about it. Well, all right.
So
All right. Girl, you said
so
that
I
word.
hope
You clearly took that word, girl. Mm.
so this
What's
session
your
was
cash app?
that's right, send me that money. So this was just part two. So go back and listen to the session on part one, the review for part one, and this was part two. So it was 6 steps that we asking you to just follow to help you on your financial journey, and to just take the time to be
Invest
aware.
in yourself. Invest in yourself. I
Yeah,
don't mean money, I
yeah,
mean time. I'm talking about time.
right, right. Invest in yourself. Take the time. It's going to take work, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, aren't
It's
you worth
worth
it?
it.
Aren't you worth it?
Right, because it's
Yeah.
peace of mind. Ain't nothing like peace of mind
Peace of
that
mind.
you
I like
know
that. Mm.
financially where you are, because you can tell people, I know where I am financially. because I know I got this, that, and you're planning for this. You got this going on because because you took the time to do these steps. So take the time, like he said, to invest in yourself, in your family, in your future. And you can also be teaching your kids this. Start showing them how to do some of these things.
Yeah.
They pick up things fast. So,
Amen. Yes. All right. This is our podcast, and our podcast can be found on our website actually at giftedgenerations-llc.com/podcast. And we put it there because not everyone wants to download the app on their phone. So this allows you to listen to real time through like a real player type thing. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. You can find us at under the title Financeology 101. My wife also created a Twitter handle for us. Is at GiftedGen 2019. And we're also on Facebook. You can find us at Gifted Gen LLC. That's Gifted Gen LLC. Our Instagram handle is gift.gen. That's gif.gen. And also you can find us on YouTube at Gifted Generations LLC. So go out there and check us out and just stay tuned in because there's a lot of information. We have several hours of podcast out there, over 60 something hours now, probably up to 70 now. So tune in to so many topics. I think you will gain so much from that. Back over to you, honey.
yes. All right. So, thank you everyone for listening and just stay financially aware.
And
Have a good night.
and financially tuned in to us.
Yes. Have a good night. Thank
All
you.
right, take care. Good job, honey.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Financeology 101. I hope you enjoyed this session and the information provided will assist you on your financial journey. Until next time, be financially engaged.